All right. How did those resources fail us? Like maybe they don't actually, sometimes help us.
Yeah, I think that they fail us a lot. At least in my experience, I've really found myself pretty frustrated with trying to find the resources I need, and then this doesn't work. So then I try a different avenue to try and get the help I need, and they don't work because of this exception. And we don't accept you because this reason, and we don't accept you because this reason. And it's truly frustrating because it's very much not a straight and narrow as far as finding the help that you need. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also like it can help you in some degree, but it can't help you in the way that you need specifically. Like, like Bex, you've told us that like some groups that you went to or some support hotlines that you went to didn't really help you personally. Yeah.
And everyone else's experience is different. So something that may work for you may not work for someone else, and vice versa. Something that works for someone else doesn't work for you. That's the thing with our brains, is that they're all wired entirely different. We're all uniquely our own person. So we can't make a code for when we have this issue, A equals B, because A is not always the same apple. If that apple does not equal orange, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense
wow,
either.
That made no sense.
You're welcome for that, everyone. I think I'm still tired.
I'm pretty sure everyone's a little tired.
It's all good. I did wake up from a nap, so naps are good.
I've just been doing homework all day like normally. But,
yeah. Always do it. Always.
So what advice would you give to our younger selves,
Ashley, why don't you start us off?
Yeah.
I feel like the advice I would give my younger self is sometimes it gets rough, sometimes it gets easy, but you just gotta keep your head up and try and fight through it. And I kind of want to give myself advice right now for that, even though I most likely won't take it. But I feel like since I would be telling myself that younger, that I would be easier to accept it than I would now.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's like, if there's one thing that's frustrating, it's myself, that I'm really bad at taking advice, especially my own advice. I'm very good at giving it, but taking my own advice,
that is true. Bex
yeah. Joe knows this from personal experience as being my friend.
Yeah.
I'm very frustrating.
Well, it's not that you're frustrating. I mean, sometimes I give advice that I wouldn't even take, mostly because it doesn't... I understand why people do that, mostly because, it's not the same for everyone. That's
an interesting topic in its own, is that...
Yeah.
Yeah, why do we not take the advice that we give ourselves? Especially if it's good advice. I think...
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just... That's interesting.
I guess it's just because we don't... Like, we're at the moment of helping someone else rather than helping yourself. So you give advice that you wouldn't even do. So basically you're helping someone else by saying that you would never... I don't know. It's weird, but I kind of understand it.
Yeah, I think when helping someone else too...
Yeah.
You can kind of detach your own emotions from it, if that makes sense. So you can detach your bias from it. You can detach, whereas that bias that you have when you're trying to advise yourself just completely just annihilates anything. In any case, yeah, go ahead.
You're basically giving the advice you would take for yourself, but you're not doing.
Yeah. 100%.
It's weird.
Back to like kind of the original question, advice that I would give myself, I would say that when I was younger and trying to get the help that I needed, I wasn't ready for it. And I got pushed in it because, you're sick and people want you to get better, but sometimes with mental illness, sometimes you're not ready to get better. And it ultimately has to be when you're ready.
Yeah.
And I think I was angry at myself a lot of times, and I held a lot of that anger inside, and ultimately made me a lot worse for a lot longer, that I wasn't ready to get better. And if I were to talk to a younger self, I would try to encourage myself that that's okay, that it's okay that I'm not ready, that it's okay that I don't feel okay right now. And that's something that took me a long time to learn, and a lot of maturity, a lot of months, a lot of years of self-reflection and learning about myself, that it's okay that I'm not ready to do this right now. It's okay if I'm not ready to move forward right now.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like,
Yeah, I know where you're coming from.
Yeah, I'm getting a little teary-eyed right now because I'm thinking of like baby Bexa and how much I've grown.
and honestly, like from like from the 2 months I've basically known you, and I've seen a lot of improvement on your mental health and just how happy you've been recently, and just like it's just better. It's just generally better to see you doing better.
And it's not a straight up and down either.
Yeah.
Like it's not a I'm not okay right now, and a month from now I'm 100% okay. It's gonna be I'm up a little bit, and then right now I'm not doing so good, and then I'm doing a little bit better, but right now I'm not doing so good. And I think that if there's one advice that I'd like to take with me now and to a previous self, it would be that it's okay that I'm not okay right now.
It's okay
Yeah,
not to be okay.
it basically comes in spurs. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I am. Like, one day I'll be feeling perfectly fine, and then the next week I'm like, please, I don't want to talk to anyone. I just want to be by myself. And the next week I'll be like, hey, what are y'all up to? Do y'all want to hang out?
I'm exactly the same. It's very frustrating.
That's why.
But yeah, go ahead.
That's why on the server there'll be times where I'm very active, and then the next month, like no one hears from me, but every once in a while I'll be like, hey, how are y'all? Popping in, bye.
Yeah. I think I used to beat myself up a lot because I wasn't always consistently okay. And if there's one thing that, and I'm not even talking about that long ago, but if there's one thing I want to take into this 2021, it's that it's okay to not always be okay. And that goes for listeners at home as well. Take away that it's okay. It really is okay.
Yeah.
If you could snap your fingers and change one thing, what would it be and why?
Oh, I got this one.
All right, go ahead.
Every drink turns into Dr. Pepper. That would save me so much time.
That would save a lot of money too for you. Like that would be some good pocket cash you'd earn.
Dude, you don't understand how much I spend on Dr. Pepper.
I don't drink pop, so I don't. I don't know. That'd probably be about the same as my Amazon shopping problem and ordering peanut butter.
You gotta remember, we're from the South. It's called soda, not pop.
Yeah.
We call it soda.
Yeah, we call it pop.
Ew. That's weird.
You.
I'm from the north too. I'm from the north regions, but I still call it soda.
American.
I'm from the South.
American.
Yeah, Ash does have that like accent.
America.
Ash does have that like country accent. It's kind of cute
Accent.
though.
Yeah. What about you, Ashley? If you could snap your fingers and change anything in the world, what would you change and why?
I would probably be one of those people that say no more sickness, because first off, that would say like no more cancer and deadly disease like this, because first off, that saves you a whole lot of money, and then you to live your life longer and spend time with your family and stuff.
Yeah.
I think for me, I would change the accessibility to mental health resources specifically, because like we've been talking about, it's incredibly frustrating that the accessibility to non-emergent care, I would call it outpatient care, is not amazing. It's not amazing in Canada. It's not amazing around the world from what I've heard. And it is something that I would like to see changed over the next coming years, post-COVID, of course, since that is the urgent medical thing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and first off, the first one was a completely joke. I wasn't actually joking about, making every liquid a Dr. Pepper. Well, actually,
I wouldn't be surprised if you weren't joking. You have a problem.
I do have an addiction to Dr. Pepper.
I've never had Dr. Pepper.
Did y'all talk about it on y'all's last podcast? Joe's addiction to Dr. Pepper.
We did. That episode is coming out next.
Yeah,
Or
probably.
no, it'll be in the past because of.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. I'll post it first, and then I'll post this one after.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I'll be on it. Maybe.
We'll figure it out. Don't worry.
Don't
we'll
worry.
figure it out, viewers. We'll figure it out.
If Joe ever edits.
Listen. The Dr. Pepper isn't gonna drink itself. But
now I'm